Nobodies.
Hell yeah, dude. Podcast. Well, number 2 solo.
How many have you had now in
What?
total?
You are going to be 45.
45.
Oh, it's like Trump's first presidency.
There you go.
Hashtag 45.
Technically second term, right?
Because
well,
that's
number
is
2
that 47?
I'm 40.
you're
I was
second.
number 2 and then now 45.
Yeah.
I'm the second term.
Yeah,
Cheers.
cheers.
Non-alcoholic, by the way, non-alcoholic, because we're not drinking alcohol.
Yeah, I know you might not believe me, but I have a video about it.
Yeah.
Those lights are bright.
They are. And just for anybody that saw that, it wasn't my idea. It was his idea. I wasn't peer pressuring him to drink.
Oh, yeah.
I'm also on a dry run myself.
Well, that was funny, dude.
I told you, I was like, you're going to put that out. People are going to think I'm a bad friend and I'm peer pressuring you. On the contrary, like, yeah, we're not drinking.
Yeah. It's funny how many people like commented without even seeing to the end.
Right, yeah. But being real, I would actually be one of those people too. Like, yo, dude, they're pressuring you not to drink.
Like,
yeah, no, that's not a good thing. I would think the same. That's why I was like, yo, they're going to say I'm a bad friend.
Dude, when I first heard about those, like the non-alcoholics, because I was telling a few people like over the Christmas holidays, and I was like working, and I was like, I'm gonna do 75 hard, and people were like, what? And they're like, that's crazy and shit. But then one of my inspirations was Brittany, who was on the podcast,
right? And
then another time also, so I'm thinking about it. I'm like, maybe I'll do it, not as like much. And then I went to I was working one day, and these 2 regulars of mine that come in all the time. They're like, oh, dude, you got to do it. Don't do soft. Just do 75 hard. Go all out. We did it like a couple of years ago. It was like the best thing. We feel so good, blah, blah, blah.
What's a soft?
75 soft is like a little more lenient. You can drink a little bit. You know, it's like socially, which for me, then it just gets out of control anyway.
Right.
You don't need to do like an outside workout. You know, it's just like little less or like rules around.
Yeah, because your 75 is not just not drinking. This like you have to do other things with it, right?
two a day workouts, and one has to be outside.
Right.
So I think with soft, you're like, oh, you can just do it inside too, or whatever.
Cool.
But drinking a gallon of water.
See, I was already floating the idea of not drinking for the beginning of the year. So when you and I were talking about it, you were telling me, like, I was like, oh, dude, that's exactly what I need. Somebody to do it with me, even though you're all the way over here there and I'm over here. I'm like, let's just do it together.
Yeah.
And so, like I was telling you, that first week was a little hard, but then after that, the second week was on and off. But that third week, I was like really proud of myself when I went out and everybody's trying to peer pressure me to drink at brunch, and I didn't. Yeah. And I told you at first it was hard, but after that, when they got drunk, I felt a lot better because I'm like, okay, yeah, this is why I don't drink. But no, I mean, it was fun, man. I liked it, not drinking. And even today, this whole weekend was great. Yeah,
dude. We went like, I mean, I got in. What did we do the first time?
So Friday, you got in. I picked you up. We came back here, dropped up your stuff. We took that shot.
Yeah.
We took that shot. We did that video. And then we went to Durango. We had sushi there, that roulette sushi.
Yeah.
Fam met us up, and then we gambled there for a little bit.
That's
Mississippi Stud.
Yeah.
That was a cool game. And then we called it. What, I think it was like midnight.
Yeah, I guess we still were out till
midnight
like
or 1. Midnight
yeah.
or 1, yeah. And then woke up Saturday feeling great. Went and got bagels, and then went out to Blue Diamond. Did the mountain bikes, which is great. I was hurting, but
dude,
it was awesome, man.
That was another of those things. It's like when you were at first, you're like, I don't think I'm gonna make it.
Yeah, that first one, then I was like, dude, not even the first one. We're getting to the trail on the pavement. Dude. We're going up there. I'm like, man, this is a bad idea. This is a bad fucking idea.
Dude, it was so funny because like literally 5 minutes before, you're like, dude, this is the best idea. I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, we're driving, getting there. I'm like, this is so cool. I'm so excited. We're looking at the bikes. We get out, and then we're pulling out from the guy's parking lot. And I'm sitting on the damn freaking seat, and I'm like, my ass is already hurting. I'm like, this sucks. And then we're going up there, I'm like, this really fucking sucks. Dude. And then we get to stuff, like, I'm not gonna make it. We haven't even gotten started in the trail.
Oh my god.
No, but for real, once we got up that big hill, and then just coming down on those slopes, oh my god, it was so much fun. Then the views and everything, amazing, man. And then towards when we got to that abandoned car, that was cool. You know, taking pictures there, that was awesome. But
yeah, that was like the thing. Oh, I was going to say it would be like when you have that feeling of, I can't do this. Yeah. And that's the same as like when you started, like, or when you stopped drinking, like the first week, you know, when you're like, fuck, dude, I want to drink. This sucks. So like pushing through those like hard moments is like the crucial to then getting to that.
Like that is the test itself. Right there, you know,
and it gets so much like at least for me, it gets easier not drinking after I've already had like 2 to 3 weeks under my belt. Yeah. And I'm like, oh, I have momentum. I'm like, yeah, dude, I've already made it this far.
Right.
Like,
and again, so when I was at brunch a couple weeks ago, and that was going through my mind, like the girls had ordered shots, and I picked up a shot because they ordered me one. I picked it up and I cheers with them, but I was already in my hand. I was like, and I was like, no, I just should put it down. And then I kept on drinking my soda water, and then I was fine. But that was probably like the closest I got right there. Like I could just take this, but I was like, then I know I'm gonna want to hang out. Yeah. I mean, the music was great, like DJ music and everything. Sunny outside, it was great, but kind of like with the whole biking thing, you know, it felt like I can't do it. It's freaking hard. Then we talked about the second wind. And then going back down, you picked up your second wind, like, oh, okay. And then again, the ride back down made it so worth it. The views made it worth it. And then you go back up, it sucks. It's kind of like the same thing, go hand in hand, like the whole not drinking. And that experience was great.
Yeah.
And then now, like I said, I mean, in 6 days, my 30 days is over, or my first month is over. But I'm thinking about just going another month and just going as far as I can, you know. I think it was probably when I was, 28, 29 or something. I think I did 6 months straight. No drinking. I remember that. No drinking. But that was the longest I ever did. I'm like, okay, I know I can do it, but I mean, here in Vegas, it's sometimes hard because it's Vegas. Everywhere you go, it's alcohol, and it's free alcohol if you're gambling and stuff. And not that I gamble, you know, I only go to the casinos when people come visit. But everywhere you go, I mean, it's just that everywhere.
Dude, I know.
Free chasers, it's just, I don't know, man. It's fine.
Yeah, it's really fuck, man.
But I mean, obviously, if you can do it here, it's gonna be easy everywhere.
Dude, you know? And how many times did we get called pussy or fags?
I know, right? For not drinking. Like that one girl, she's like, okay, like you're a bitch. And I was like, she was talking all this crap at the bar. I'm like,
dude, you
lady,
have
you have no idea how much we go hard. We go hard.
I think it's like silly when I don't know, maybe it's because I've done the no drinking thing a time or two. So when somebody comes to my bar and like just getting a non-alcoholic, I'm like, oh, dude, doing dry January? Or just I ask them, they're like, oh yeah, I got to take a break. I'm like, good for you, man. And I'm like, and I also am very happy that you're still coming into my bar.
Right.
Like, so when bartenders give shit, I'm like, dude, this guy's trying to better himself and they're still coming out. Like, because, you know, a lot of people can't handle that. Like, if they're not going to drink, they're like, dude, I can't be around booze. You know, I need to
There was somewhere this weekend that some bartender did say that. I'm trying to remember who. But one of the places we went to, one of the bars was like, oh, you're doing dry January. I'm like, yeah. I can't remember who. It was at the beginning.
Yeah.
I can't remember who. Anyways, but that's a valid point. You know, why would you shit on somebody and they'll be like, oh, I'm not going out. And just stay home. Nah, screw that.
I mean, it is hard. Like sometimes Brittany and I talked about it, but sometimes people will like shit on your time because they're like, oh, I should do that, dude, but I'm not doing anything, or I never take breaks. So then they're like, oh, pussy, you know, but like secretly they're like, oh, I feel, you know, like I feel a little bad because I was going to do that. Now I'm not, or something, you know?
And there's been a lot of times, obviously, people do New Year's resolutions and they'll start it for like a couple weeks. Yeah. And then they give up. I mean, I've done that multiple times for other things. Yeah. You know, like fast food, not cursing, whatever. And then it's done.
You did a not cursing one?
I tried, man. I think it lasted like 3 days. I think. But it was not cursing, like saying it, but thinking it, I was like cussing like a sailor, you know?
Yeah. I wouldn't even, I just slip up too much. Yeah. I'm like, oh, fuck, shit, oh, damn it.
Yeah. But no, I mean, this was just different. I felt that I definitely, like I said, I was floating the idea around just because prior to the year, everything was just out of control. Yeah. So I was drinking a lot, you know. But now I was like, you know, I need to start fresh. 2025, no drinking. We'll see how long it goes.
Yeah. You know? When I thought about the whole resolution thing too, because it does feel like you always fall off a resolution, but a resolution you typically decide for a whole year. So you're like biting off a whole year like commitment. Yeah. And that's what I like about just doing dry January. It's like, dude, instead of being like, I'm not gonna drink all year or whatever, like just like, why don't you just do a month? Yeah. And then like when we talked and you're like, maybe I'll do like 3 months. I'm like, dude, just start with a month and then see how you feel. And then if you like it, then keep doing it. But like, if not, at least you do.
Because I think you're right. Because when people think the whole year, it's so undoable that they just give up. Yeah. And then you make that time limit or that goal smaller and smaller. It's doable, baby steps, you know. And then at the beginning too, I'm like, okay, I got over this weekend. Now it's the weekday. I'm fine. You know, weekend comes again. Okay, then it's a little bit harder, but just take it one day at a time. Yeah. One bar, one social event at a time, and then that was fun.
Do you think that like for me, what I'm still worried about is like once I start drinking again, I'm hoping that I can find like balance.
Yeah.
But I'm just nervous. I'm like, I'm gonna go right back to drinking like so much, and it feels like once I turn the brakes off, it's just like gas pedal.
Yeah.
But like you don't like really drink in the week normally.
No,
anyway,
no,
right?
no. So back in Idaho, like we like during the weekday, if after work, like me and the guys, the roommates, we weren't doing anything. We'd want to go out to eat, like at Rudy's.
Yeah.
We'd go to Rudy's and I have like a Jack and Coke, and that'd be
Right.
it. But if not, then I'd stay home. I wouldn't drink. I mean, there'd be alcohol in the fridge and stuff. I wouldn't drink. And the weekends we would, and I'd always pace myself. You know, my dad growing up, helping him on cars and just working on or just around the house. And we had farm animals. So just working outside, we would just drink throughout the day, just having a beer, finish that, having another beer. And it was just pacing yourself.
Yeah.
So to me, it was not necessarily just to get fucked up, but obviously being in Idaho when the guys having parties or going out to the bars, then we would get lit,
Like,
but a lot of times, shotties. But then a lot of times I would dial it back when we were gonna head out,
Yeah.
And so, but like I said, the last couple months it was just out of control. I was drinking during the week by myself. On the weekend, wouldn't go out. I would just stay here and get drunk.
Yeah.
But I felt like I was spiraling, so I was like, all right, turn it back down, take it back, and so But no, I'm everything's better now. But to me, once this is all over. It's gonna go back to what it was, not really getting crazy, like, I mean, I'm talking about prior to when like I first got here in Vegas. I was just chilling, even if I would go out by myself, I'd have a couple beers, a couple drinks, and then I'd come back home because again, I'm trying to get, caught up in trouble out here. I mean, I don't know anybody, back home, I had family, I had friends. If I get in trouble, hey, can you help me out? Can you bail me out or something? Here, I'm just like, I don't want to put myself in that situation.
Yeah, so, dude, fuck. I mean, one of the things I always struggle with too, with like drinking too much or little is I'm like, well, I don't want to drink out that much because it gets expensive. Yeah. Especially down here.
Here, it's crazy
expensive. I mean, even there, it's still like, I'm like, fuck, dude, I'm spending, a lot of money. That if I would have just bought a bottle and drank at the house, it'd be much cheaper. Yeah. But then if I buy a bottle and drink at the house, I just end up getting so fucked up. Well, and I'm like, I have it. I might as well drink it.
And that was another thing too, because I still don't know that many people here. Yeah. So when I want to go out and do stuff, I would go out by myself. Yeah. But it does get expensive. Like even by myself, I'd go out and like get dinner, get like an appetizer, and just pace myself drinking. With food and like a shot and a couple Jacks and Cokes, easily I'm close to like $100. Yeah, by myself.
That's fucking wild.
By myself, and that's not including tip.
Right.
And then after that, if I want to go somewhere else to get some other drinks, like cap off on that, like because obviously that'd be a restaurant. If I want to go like a bar and get like a more drinks before I go home, then that's another like $40-$50 right there. Yeah. Versus if I get alcohol and just kick it at the house, which I did, and I'm like just here watching YouTube videos, making, shit on the computer and just, I don't know, hanging out here. It felt like, okay, I'm getting fucked up by myself at home. Now I feel like, am I alcoholic? Getting drunk by myself at the house? I'm like, that's not what I'm about either. But it's like, it just,
that's a hard
thing. It was like, man, I don't know, man. Obviously, if I was back home, it'd be different, going out. Like, I'd call somebody, hey, what are you doing? Oh, let's hang out. Let's go do this. Let's go do that,
And I like going out to socialize because I mean it's like even if it's just playing pool bars. I mean I guess you guys don't have a lot of that here, but
I mean, they have pool halls and stuff. But
but that's like a pool hall. Like I mean you know how many dive bars we
have,
and
that have,
like that's one thing that I realized
I miss dive bars.
You didn't have that as much. Yeah. But like it's going to Quinn's or Vista or even
the LDG. They have like 3 pool tables right there.
And so you just go. You even if you invite a friend, then you're meeting other people. Yeah. You're playing pool with them or darts. I mean, Rudy's, for example, they have darts and shit. And so people just meet up and
the thing is too. So since I moved out here, everybody from back home would tell me like, dude, you were the one that would always tell us, hey, dude, let's go do this. Hey, let's go do that. Yeah. Hey, let's go do this. Yeah. And I tell like the guys, when's the last time you guys hang out? Like, well, it's been a while. Yeah. I'm like, what the hell, man?
Dude, you were the glue. You're the glue for me anyway, man. I hardly ever see those dudes. Yeah. I mean, here and there.
And even amongst themselves, they kind of don't really hang out as much. At least that's what they tell me. But maybe I don't know if they're trying to make me feel better, which is whatever. But
no, I mean it does take time. Like obviously you're meeting a few more people now down here, but like it takes so long to build like some people that you hang out with and that you resonate with. And
this is a couple of things. So also I think because me in my particular situation, I'm 37, I'm single, no kids, no pets. So people that are like my situation, they're a lot younger. They're like in their 20s, you know? A lot of people my age in that same predicament, they have kids, they're married, they're doing other things, you know? So it's kind of fine. It's kind of hard to find that niche because even back home, most of those guys, they all have kids, you know, but it'd still be fine because they were already my friends. You know, so I go over like, Eric, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. All right, well, let's go grill at your house. Like I'll bring some meat and we'll hang out, you know. Here it's different, you know. And some of the people that I met that are younger, they're great people, but a lot of times like they want to go hit the clubs, those expensive ass clubs. And I'm like, I don't know a lot about all that. I'm gonna go home. You know?
Yeah. So that's the time hard, like those are the nights to be sober where you're like, okay, I'll go clubbing, but I'm not paying any money. And then you're like sipping on soda waters or something.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And there's been a couple of times, I mean, for my birthday last year, we went out. And we went to this this country bar, and my buddy that works with me, he was like, oh, I got your drinks for the night. And I was like, sure, but I wasn't gonna let him, you know. He got me one round, but I ended up paying rounds for everybody that we met. I ended up blowing like $600 just on my birthday, you know. But I was like, I've never spent that much money.
You sound like Ian. Ian always buys a bunch of people's shit on his birthday. I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
And I was like, but it was fine. It was cool. I liked it. I had a good time. And at the end of the day, I mean, I was enjoying myself, and that's what it was. But in Idaho, obviously, those same times would be way less. Yeah,
dude, it is crazy difference. The only thing I think that Vegas is more than Scottsdale because we were like noticing that when I went down there and you came out and you're like, dude, it's cheaper here than Vegas. I'm like, fuck, when did that happen?
I don't know, man.
I mean, like kind of like post-COVID, but
and then I mean, don't get me wrong, this place I like it. I do like Vegas. There's a lot of cool places to eat, and a lot of my money has gone to food, like checking new places out. Sometimes I'll just drive, like on a Friday night after work, I'll come home, I shower, get ready, and I'll just drive somewhere, you know, whatever looks good, you know, whatever sign. I'm like, oh, that looks cool. I'll park and I'll check it out. Like the other day I went on the other side, this new barbecue spot, you know. I guess to me it was new, but I guess it'd been there for like a year. It was freaking amazing, man. It was amazing. And I was like, it's cool. I just randomly found it, you know? Yeah. So I don't know. I like doing stuff like that, but a lot of my money has been going towards just food. You know? I mean, I like the kitchen here, but it's small. Because when I cook a lot of other dishes to go with like a main dish, like a lot of sides. So the dishes pile up real quick, and I don't have as much space because then after that I have to put things in Tupperware, and I don't have that much space for Tupperware. The fridge is kind of small too, so I'm like, So a lot of times I'm like, I'll just eat out because it's less of a pain, you know. So. Yeah,
I hate having a small kitchen.
Compared to the other house, that other house was huge ass kitchen. But everything else was expensive. At that other house, man.
Yeah, then you're like, I have to
save some money somewhere. Freaking power bill was $700.
Dude, that was $700.
Yeah, just for the power bill.
Dude,
man.
Your house, so you had there was like this main living room when you entered. And then you go through, and then there's a kitchen on the left, and then like a little dining area, and then another nook that's like your living room.
The living room that we made living room,
And then you had another living room upstairs. You had like 3 living rooms plus 3 bedrooms.
3 bedrooms. Yeah, and then so Cameron's room was the master, and it was,
that was huge
master. And then we had the other room in the middle.
Shout out Cameron, he let me sleep in his bed.
and then I had my room, which was still like a master bedroom in some other houses. And then obviously the pool in the back. So that also, you know, power and everything. So I mean, not gonna lie, I was amazing living at the house, and I'm glad, you know, we found it, and you know, shout out to Cameron for finding that. You know,
it's good you guys had that time together.
No, absolutely, man. Living with Cameron was awesome. You know,
and he pieced out like a little bitch.
No, but we're gonna go visit.
So
it's crazy that you're here this weekend and you hit me up. Like he randomly, hey man, I hope you're probably wondering how his cat was doing. So he sent me a video of the cat, and I was like, oh shit.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I was house sitting the cat for a while and stuff. So and I was like, dude, we gotta go visit out there, man.
Fuck. So you think that? I mean, so you're happy with the decision moving down here?
I am.
It's definitely like an adjustment.
So when I realized that I was happy with the decision was. Because I was already floating the idea to leave for a while. I wanted to leave before 2020, but then 2020 happened, and then a bunch of things happened. So I just, you know, instead of leaving, I just moved in with Javier, and we stayed for a while. And then after the whole thing with French, I was like, okay, I need to pick that up and leave again. And when I got here, of course, in July, first couple months, it kind of sucked because I still missed home and everything. There was the
Right.
summer, so having social media and then seeing all the guys going boating, doing this, doing
yeah.
that, the barbecues, and then also my family having family events. So I was missing out on a lot, but I was like, but then once Alexia's fundraiser came out, then I flew back for that. I was super excited to go because seeing everybody. But then I realized like after like a couple of days there, I was like, man, it's not in a bad way that I say this, but it's like I would have been if I would have stayed, I would have still had that feeling that I wanted to leave.
Yeah.
So even though I did leave, I wanted to come back, but I'm glad I did because I experienced leaving. But if I would have stayed, I would have felt the exact same way and nothing would have changed.
Yeah.
So I'm glad I pulled the trigger. I felt better. It was good seeing Alexia. And then after that first year, it was great. I mean, there was a couple of times that I felt, lonely and shit, but you get over it after a while.
Yeah.
Now I'm like more comfortable being alone, which is crazy. But I do enjoy when people come and visit, And I don't know, it's just like a different chapter in my life, and I like it. It's a different me that I'm discovering.
Yeah. Yeah, that's interesting because like I mean, from the outside, I felt like I was like, oh yeah, I feel like he, like when you decided to move, I was like, damn, and I was like, well, I guess it's like if you feel like you're not doing anything, if you're not progressing in life, like that's kind of the way to do it is just like change the scenery. And like I want to move, and I do feel like I'm progressing in life, but like it's hard for me to move because Boise's dope, and that's where all my friends are.
Yeah.
But I'm like, dude, to me, it's just there's so many other opportunities out there.
Yeah.
But I do know that. I mean, I guess it's a little scary. It's like, fuck, I gotta save the money up, and then it's like I gotta find a new job, and then you go somewhere and you don't know anyone. I'm like, if I moved to Austin, it's like there's really nobody there that I like really know.
Yeah.
Unless I convince somebody to move there.
Yeah. I want to. I do. I want to go to Texas.
No, actually, too. Emma said she might move there.
Yeah. Well, she's already in Texas.
Well, she's in Brownsville, but like, move up to Austin. So, I mean, that would be killer if she was like had moved up and I moved down.
Well, Paco and Lorena are already down there. And that's two of my best friends right there.
And then Cindy would be down. And she has a friend out there as well, like a deep, like not like a casual friend, not like super close, but. Sometimes it's like you move and then other people move, so who knows? But I do think, like, for me, I know that I need to be social. Yeah. And so I want to just pick up a bartending job, like, as soon as I get out there and just try to meet people and get a group or at least a couple people to kick it with here and there. Because I go nuts if I, like, have too much time by myself.
Yeah. No, I mean, you're right with the whole wanting to move. I did feel stuck for a bit, My original plan was to move to Boise for about 3 years. And after 3 years, I was going to move to Chicago.
Oh, yeah, that's
right.
And
after Chicago, I was going to move to New York City. My whole dream had always been to just live and work in New York City, but live comfortably, you know? So make good enough money to where I have a nice apartment, I can still travel, I'm not worrying about bills and stuff like that. But that was the whole goal. Move to Boise, step number one. But I'm starting meeting everybody. And I love Boise, man. I fell in love with the city. And before you know it, 10 years went by. And I was like, oh. And then I started feeling the rut again. I was like, I need to get out. And so when I decided to leave, I don't know if I told you, but I was thinking about Denver, Portland, Seattle, and Vegas. I've been to Denver before, and I liked it. I thought it was kind of like a bigger Boise. So that's why it attracted me to Denver. Portland, I have my buddy Alan. And then in Seattle, I don't know. You met Ivan, remember Ivan? Yeah. So I knew Ivan. And then here in Vegas, I knew Cameron.
Yeah.
So then I was thinking about all those places I talked to work, like which one they would recommend. And everybody had said Vegas, it's a bigger market, a test market. They have a lot of stuff here. And then also talk about my family. My family always goes to Southern California. They drive a lot down there. Oh, cool. So they pass through Vegas. Yeah. And then everybody comes to Vegas for events or conferences or work. So people come to Vegas all the time. Yeah. So it was a clear choice to come here because people will see me. Yeah. And it's been like that,
People do visit you a lot.
A lot, yeah. Which is awesome. And a lot of family has come through and stayed with me, and it's great, But I don't think I'm gonna be here for the 10 years, like for example, Boise. Yeah. Boise is special. It's always gonna be special. I don't know where I'm going to go next. Depends work. Right. And that was an easy thing for me because I had where I can transfer and I had Cameron.
Yeah, see, that's super nice with work. Like, because I obviously can't transfer. And eventually I want to have the podcast and some other online stuff enough where I can do that from anywhere, like online. But until then, it is like, okay, you have to find a job. You have to start from the bottom. You have to do this. So it is like tricky. So that is a good thing because you're like, okay, I got a job at this bank. We got it locked in. Let's go.
Have you ever thought maybe like also with your line of work, making videos of yourself at work and posting it like shorts?
Oh, like when you were talking about the people that are bartending?
Right, because when I was just going through the wormhole of YouTube, like I told you, I ran into that video of just these guys had mics on or cameras, and they were just making drinks at like a Manhattan bar.
Out.
Yeah, so you can see them and you can hear them socializing with customers, taking orders, and it was, I don't know, it was so interesting for like a whole hour and stuff. But I mean, you gotta do that, but you can also have like somebody shooting a video of you making a drink or something, like a short or something, or you engaging with your customers. So that way, like, hey, you can call and say, hey, I'm looking for a job. This is my resume. Go check out my channel.
Yeah.
Like I'm looking for like something like that.
I actually did think about, well, it's somewhat similar, but and I still kind of want to do this when I have more money and like I'm already doing stuff online. Is a lot of like influencers / bigger people that have a big presence online. They have like Gary Vee or somebody. He has a guy that's dedicated to just filming him all the time and all this stuff. And I was like, dude, it'd be cool to get like like an intern or somebody you can pay like pretty low, like a college kid. But hanging out,
you can teach him the ropes too. You can teach him about video stuff.
So he's like sitting at the bar while I'm working. Like filming and trying to get audio and catching like funny moments and then clipping those out, like making like shorts with like those. And I was like, dude, because in the course of my days hanging out with either my friends or at work, there are so many funny things that happen. And it's just like, I can't predict them.
They just happen naturally.
When they do, it's like if they were to be caught and then clipped and then I can just
we say and do so much stupid shit that I'm like, dude.
Oh yeah, dude.
Oh my god. I mean, when we dropped off a homie and then we were driving back at night last night, all the shit we were talking about, not about him, but just about in general, about life.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, like that's funny. Dude, but you know what people should do, and I don't know if they will, but I love How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah.
One of my favorite TV shows. But there's an episode where Barney is helping Robin with her resume. And he's like, no, you need a video resume. And he gives her the website to check out his. I'm like, that's a great idea, having a video resume. Like, hey, this is me, and like, this is what I do, and stuff like that. It's a bit, but it's awesome.
Yeah.
But I'm like, that'd be cool. Like, you can say, hey, check out my video resume. Go check it out.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, you know?
It's actually really not a bad idea even to create a video resume. Even if it didn't have, like, even if I didn't have a whole channel of like tons of bartending videos, if I did have like a couple like one-liner jokes and had a video where I'm like, making like like I say I have a bunch of tickets and so it shows me in a multitask scenario where I'm like, and I'm telling a story. So I'm like mic'd up, I'm telling a story. And so this is this, and then I'm shaking over here and pouring this while I'm like engaged. So they're like, oh, this guy knows how to like multitask and pour and what, and have fun, and kind of setting that up. And then I could also like cap it with like an intro, be like, hey, I'm Josh and I do this, you know, and then just have this little 1 minute, 2 minute intro about yourself. Here's me, bar, you know, like stuff. And
I think that would give you a leg up.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. And then you come in with a resume and you're like, hey, do you have here's what the link to my,
like, check it out.
You know, and then they go there like, oh, this guy's cool.
I mean, think about it like musicians, they might have like a demo. Like, here, check out my demo. Kind of like that. Here's my link. Check me out.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea. I like that. Dude, I won't name him, but when our friend was like, we were out going to watching music, and then he ends up getting super drunk, and so we're like, fuck, we gotta get him home. Yeah. So drive him home, and as soon as we get into the apartment complex, we're like, which way do we go? And hey, get up, and he's like, blow. Just blowing a load out the window and inside the car.
Right. And so I don't know if you caught this, but when he was out and then he was on his knees puking, the car just stopped and they like looked around and I saw the driver just looking because the puke was red because of the barbecue.
Oh yeah.
So it looked like blood. So I'm like, oh, they probably think we're beating the crap out of this guy.
Yeah.
So
Oh my God.
I'm looking around like with my D's expired. My green card expired.
And then
I'm like, holy crap, man, I'm gonna go to Mexico right now.
Oh fuck! I wanted to start this podcast by being like, so how do you feel about getting deported?
Like, well, you know what?
I'm like, you're illegal, bud.
Technically, no. No.
What do you mean? Technically, it's yes.
No,
Your green
it's
card's
expired. I'm already legalized. It just expired because my dumbass forgot to renew it.
God.
So I don't believe. I talked to an attorney first thing when I realized it was a thing. Like, oh, they're like, you're fine. Don't worry about it. You're not like illegal. So I'm like, all right, cool. Whew.
Dude, I know. ICE just comes knocking. Dude, yeah, because apparently with whatever he just did, like there was like a raid on some place in Twin Falls or something.
Was it really?
Yeah, and like a bunch of people got caught. So who knows how that all goes down? I mean, it would be pretty hard to just go through the whole country and like. And I'm not sure exactly
how they decide what places to do the raids on, but I'm pretty sure it's based on places of employment,
right?
Because they're fake social security numbers, fake IDs, and stuff like that. And my stuff isn't fake, so I have I pay taxes. I got my social security everything number like that.
You've been here for a fucking.
I know. I should just get my citizenship.
I know, dude. That's wild.
I know, but when I go to Mexico,
dude,
I don't have to go to the US.
Val has his citizenship.
Oh, does he really?
Yeah. Like, this French dude got his citizenship before you.
I know, man. And he goes to TJ, man. He loves Tijuana.
Yeah, I know. It's funny, too, because he, like, I swear it was, like, right after he got his citizenship, he was, like, and not, like, right after, but, like, maybe a year after, he was, like, super frustrated with, like he had broke up with his girlfriend and he was trying to date, and he's just like, fuck American girls. Fuck America. And I'm like, dude, you just like spent all this time trying to became a citizen. And he's like, I want to go to Mexico.
So like, no. When he said that, like, oh, now you're an American.
Yeah. That's very American of you to want to
very
leave.
American. Jesus, man.
Yeah. But it was funny when he was just like, speaking of just ridiculous stuff after we drop him off and we finally find his apartment. And then we're like walking out and he's just like opens the door. He's like, night fags.
Dude, I was like, this fucking guy.
I'm like, dude, we just took care of you.
We just took care of you and couldn't find his keys. I'm like, right here, buddy.
Yeah.
He was going to leave the freaking jacket. So I was like, oh shit. I grabbed that when we left.
Yeah, that was good because that had the keys, right?
Well, I think we would have figured it out outside though.
Yeah.
But.
No, that was a good time though.
That was a lot. That cover band was awesome, man. That was awesome. I need more nights like those, just going out and just watching live bands like that.
Yeah. Well, and that's nice because like now that you know, well, I mean, I think you probably knew it existed already. But that's the kind of night that you could probably, if you hit up fam or whoever, like go be like, hey, dude, there's a live band over here. I want to check it out. Do you want to just go chill? Because it is a nice thing where like you can chill, you can like chit chat and stuff, but you don't have to get crazy.
Right.
But still hang out.
Absolutely. I mean, being real, like that was a cool night. Just going out there. Even if I was drinking, I'd probably have like a drink and just chill, sip on it, babysit it, and just enjoy the music.
Yeah. Dude, if that was a night, like if I was drinking, I mean, I know I can do this sober, but if I was drinking and there were more people, I would like potentially go start dancing. Like that was like it's good. It's fun enough music for dancing.
Yeah.
It was just such a chill like crowd. It was only like 20 people.
The lighting was perfect too, man, because it was just dark enough where you're not having to be distracted by people, but you can still see everything around you.
Yeah. But I mean, if I was a little liquored up, I would feel in the mood to like go dance. Because I mean, like they're playing dancey songs, having fun.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man.
We did like Cindy loves to dance. And so we've gone a couple times when I wasn't drinking, do like a show and we'll dance and stuff. But there was one time, I guess I was drinking that one night, but we went up to Hap Hap, which is the rooftop bar above Treefort Hall. The only one and only time I went with, I think it was with you. Okay. When you had, was it your show or somebody was playing and I went with you? Oh yeah, our show, and then we went up. And then upstairs. Yeah, that was the one and only time I went. So we went there and saw like our friend was DJing. And like nobody was dancing, and all was like, you want to like normally it takes one person to get the ice, and so like we both went up there and started dancing, and then 5 minutes later there was like 15 people. I was like, hell yeah, we got it going. Yeah, but it does like take that one, and No. I guess there's that old lady started kind of dancing.
I mean, yeah. I'm like, oh shit, people feeling it.
Yeah. Man, dude, I do give you props for just like, taking the risk and moving.
I like it, man. Like I said, it was hard at first. And there are those days I wish I was back home just because it's easier to, go over to somebody's house and just hang out for a bit, But like I said, this is a new chapter for me. It's discovery of stuff that I didn't realize, and good and bad. Being humble and counting your blessings, But it's cool, man. It's just another chapter in life, and just seeing where it takes me next. Like I said, I'm down to go to Texas, but unfortunately we have no branches in Texas where I can just transfer.
Crazy to me.
I know. So that's what I was thinking Arizona.
US Bank seems so huge.
But that's what I'm thinking Arizona. If not, I can go back to my original plan and just go to Chicago.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that actually earlier because, would you still want to go to Chicago at all? And then potentially, would you still go to New York?
Absolutely, man. If I could go to Chicago, I'd love to. I would love to live in a commercial building with like those big windows and the HVAC. You can see through the walls, or not see through the walls, but see in the roof and then like the brick walls and stuff. I'd love to live in a place like that in like a downtown area in Chicago, and then eventually that city maybe, but in New York City.
And can you do you feel like you have to wait long enough till you work up the ladder on US Bank so you can afford a spot like that?
No, not necessarily. It just depends what avenue I want to go, what business I decide to go into when it comes to the bank. I think right now where I'm at is good because I'm learning a lot more and how to manage people and delegate and do stuff like that. But there's a couple other business ideas that I'm looking into, which I can work from home. Some of them are based in the bigger cities, so that could be possibly one of them. But eventually, if I make it to New York City, I'd have to leave the bank, do something else. Okay. Or if I decide to go to Texas, I have to leave the bank and do something else.
Yeah,
but
unless they expanded or something.
Right. And I wouldn't want to leave the bank. I do love my job. 15 years, so it's a long time.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dude, if you did a work from home, could you live overseas?
I don't think so because of that. Well, technically you probably could, but there's a time difference.
Yeah, so you'd have to be up in the night or whatever.
So we do have actually, so the bank owns this other company that does merchant services. And they have merchant service throughout the whole globe.
Yeah.
In Europe, Latin America, stuff like that. But you have to move to that department, and then they work in that country. Doing merchant services.
Yeah.
So that's a whole different beast.
Dude, New York City would be nuts. I've only ever visited, but Cameron's brother Daniel, he lived there for 8 or 10 years. And he said it was super hard. But I mean, he was chasing photography in there, and he was just
it's very cutthroat, I heard.
Yeah.
But and then that's another thing too. I haven't even visited.
Right.
So
it
was just it's always been a dream, but maybe once I visit I won't like it. But I do feel that I definitely want to leave Las Vegas just to explore something else. Yeah. I like it here, but like I was telling you the other day, I think it's kind of boring.
Yeah, especially, that's so funny. Huh?
And I don't know if it's because I'm just don't really know that many people, but even if you're not drinking, outdoor stuff, there's not a lot to do. I mean, we could always go to the park, the Greenbelt, just float the river. There's stuff to do.
Yeah, that's what I love about Boise, though. The outdoor stuff seems to be very plentiful. Yeah.
And it's crazy because I like that about Boise, but then I'm looking at Chicago and New York City where you don't really have that. It's crazy, but I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you kind of have to. I mean, maybe you just have to start thinking outside the box and being like, okay, well, what am I interested in? What could let me think of all the activities that
because there is a lot.
Yeah, and then maybe you can get into Dungeons and Dragons. I'm just kidding.
I've never actually played Dungeons and Dragons. Oh no, I'll take that back. I was with this girl once and she was into it and explained it to me and she was trying to show me. I was like, dude, no.
Did Cameron play Dungeons and Dragons?
Or I don't know if he did. I just didn't really get it.
I have some friends that play it religiously.
Yeah.
My buddy Ken, he plays it every Thursday or Friday. I've never done it, nor
I wouldn't be opposed to actually focusing and doing it, but I just never really got into it. It wasn't my thing.
It's just a core group of 4 people who just play it all the time. I'm like, dude, that's just not for me.
So you're right about expanding, or going outside your box because that whole mountain biking thing. When I first saw it, dude, that would be so cool. Right. I want to do that, but didn't really know anybody to do it with, and I didn't want to do it alone because last time I did it, I fucked up my shoulder.
Yeah,
and so that was fun. So now I can definitely see myself doing it again by myself.
Right.
Or telling somebody, hey, yo, let's go check this out. But there's all these other stuff to do outside. I mean, better now than in the summer because it's so freaking hot.
Right. That's the thing is you got to kind of find the things for the season. But like for me, I mean, obviously this is Boise, but like I love owning a bike because I love biking around and like going places like that. But I don't know, like if you feel, I know there's things to do, but you do have to think a little outside the box when, especially when you're not drinking. Because like for me and my friends, it's like, oh, when I want to go do something, I'm gonna go get drinks with somebody. You know, we're gonna go play pool or we're gonna go.
What I was thinking, and I never would have thought I would do this, but I was thinking about like joining like some sort of book club. Yeah, I was joining some sort of book club and doing stuff like that.
But if you do I mean, you could, even if it wasn't a book club, if it is like a club for people that do a specific thing, like a hiking club or
and that's another thing. So obviously, I've been wanting to play guitar for a long time. But maybe now's the time where I can actually take guitar lessons and go to a class for beginners. Or also like I've been wanting to learn another language. Maybe I can do that too. So that's where I've been thinking about going, like, again, discovering new stuff about myself, but I have to push myself to do it.
Yeah. Because it takes, you have to like really kind of put in the effort.
Commit to it and really do it and stuff. So,
yeah, there's like so many things that I still want to do in Boise or anywhere really, but that I just haven't. Like, for example, snowboarding. Just did it that once and like, man, it's such a fun thing.
It was fun.
I had a blast, but I just don't do it. And I also want to learn to surf the river. And I'm like, dude, that would be such a cool activity. Just like once a week, get down there.
When we would take you boating, you got up,
right? So so it's just like something like that. But sometimes you get caught in a routine and then you're just doing like the same shit. For me, I feel like I was just spending so much time working on video creation, gigs, this stuff, but that I don't really have time for like a lot of like leisure activities. And then when I do, I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just going to go get a drink.
So I think this 75 hard is also a good thing to kind of get you in that mindset because you're forcing yourself to do this, to do that. Like when we were leaving the casino, right now, like I still have to walk 7 minutes. And I'm like, dude, if I was you, I'd be like, screw that.
Dude, it is.
I mean, you can walk in this whole apartment complex.
That's what I was
go out there, I'll start the oven, we'll make a pizza, you come back, it'll be ready, bro. But I mean, I'm telling you, like that's props because to me, if it was me, like, screw it. But again, I need to change that mentality. Like, all right, if I say I'm going to do this again. Stick to it.
And like for me, I want to start playing music again, or like making music. And sometimes that can be like solo, and like, but then other times I like can be with friends and like you invite somebody over and kick it and like record some shit. And
well, I used to write a lot. And it would be like kind of like short stories and I don't even know if you want to call it poetry or songs because I never really considered it was, but things like that. Thoughts, and I'd kind of like try to put metaphors in and stuff like that. I don't know if I told you about some of the little short stories that I ever wrote, and did I ever tell you about that?
I knew you were right, or you said that you were writing like some stuff.
And they're pretty cool and stuff. But there's a new one, not even a new, but an idea that I thought about the other day. Because kind of going back to like what you said, those moments that we have and it's funny, right? And catching on videos. But if we could actually write it, and obviously I'm not a good writer, but having somebody write it for us, but kind of giving them hey, this is what happened this one day, and then make like a short story of like tales of the friends or something like that. Give it a catchy title, but because there's so many memories that I have of everybody, of all my friends throughout my whole life, of so much dumb things that we've done and so many things that I'm like, holy crap, I can't believe we got away with that. And I'm like, man, if I was to share these stories with people and with the people I have, like, dude, that's so funny. Like, dude, that's crazy, you know? But I don't know. I thought it'd be cool to make something like that, you know? But it's an idea.
So writing that shit down is actually smart because it's like, you kind of forget about it until like a memory triggers. Like, oh, that one time.
So on my phone, I also wrote a lot of notes. Like I go back to like 2009. I have stuff written down. But on top of that, I have recordings too. Where I record, hey, this is what we did. And there's so many of them. You know?
That's smart. Because I think about that a lot because I know like there's all these different funny moments. But if you were to like just ask me like, hey, so what was one funny thing you did last week? I'd be like,
I don't know exactly. Like I have no idea.
I've been doing that live video like once a day.
Yeah.
And I was going into it. I was like, dude, I think I can be like funny and I'll come up with like quirky shit. Like, dude, I'm never funny on it. And I'm like, man, it is so hard for me to just be funny when I'm like by myself talking.
Dude, I don't even know what to call it, but you sometimes say some stupid shit that I laugh about it. And people are kind of like, whatever, like right now at the fucking craps table, they're 10.
Yeah.
You're no pun intended.
Yeah.
Nobody laughed, and I'm over here laughing. Because that lady was saying 10 days,
saying, like,
10 toes, 10 days, or something like that. And you're like, no pun intended. Yeah. I'm just over here laughing, then nobody laughs. But stupid shit like that, dude, that's funny, man.
Yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like all situational. Yeah, and another thing I want to do is a stand-up comedy, which that'll be a social thing because it's like, oh, then I'll get to, and that's like, dude, it's like a feeling of, I guess, envy, but when I hear Rogan talk about like all of their days coming up in the Comedy Store, and they're like, dude, we're just there 5-6 nights a week, every single night, just dying laughing, like at this set, and then we're kicking it at the bar after. Just we're all just shitting on each other, making each other laugh. And I was like, dude, that sounds so fun. And that like building that community and just like constantly laughing and being around funny people. And I was like, dude, I think that's where and it's not that I don't have that, because I do. I'm always laughing at the bar and stuff. And that's one of the things he said the other day is just like, if you're funny, he's like, I don't need my bartender to be funny. If you're a funny bartender, you should go be a comedian. You might as well I'm like, why don't I? But so that kind of shit sounds so like fun to me. It's like socialization, like working on like your stand-up comedy bits, something you've come up with something funny, like, oh fuck, that's a good bit, and then you work it out the next time.
What was it? Did we drive to Arizona together? Did you fly here and we drive to Arizona together? Because that's when you first told me about the stand-up comedy. Because we were driving.
We didn't drive together. You drove up.
No, I swear to God, I swear we were driving and you were talking to me about that. We were talking about it together. Yes, we were driving.
Did we drive together?
And then you were like, I need to record this. And you recorded it, remember? On your phone. That was on our way to Phoenix, wasn't it?
I think so.
From here.
Fuck, man. When did we drive there together?
We drove.
I definitely recorded. I remember recording some stuff.
Yeah, because we're talking about it. Like this right here. You're like, this is exactly it right here. Let me record this.
Yeah.
Because we're talking about advertising. We're talking about that. We're talking about the reality TV show. Not reality TV show. There was something else.
I do want to come up with a sitcom idea.
It's something like that. We were talking. We had like so many ideas.
Yeah.
You know, we were talking about, and you were like, I need to record this, and we're recording it. But yeah,
I think that was earlier than when I went to Phoenix, or maybe it was a different time than last year.
We drove somewhere because we were on the road for a while.
Yeah,
and I was already living here, so the only place we would have drove to would be.
I'm just trying to think of when.
Wasn't it that one time when we went? Yeah, because you stayed and I had to drive one day back.
Yeah,
I had to drive.
But I thought that I had driven here and back. I don't know. It doesn't really matter, but
I don't fucking know. No, wait. Yeah, I can't remember. But anyways, I'm pretty sure. Like, you recorded. But anyways, you're talking about that stand-up comedy.
But it is funny because like I came up with the idea, or not the idea, but like I decided that I wanted to start writing some jokes last either January, February, and when I went down to Scottsdale, I started writing my first set of jokes on my phone. That's when I created the note. And then I wrote some jokes at your house with Cameron, and I was recording it one day, and I was like, man, I really want to start putting together a 5-minute thing and start doing it. And I always do this thing where it's like, when I want to do something, it takes me years to get to it. And
like this whole podcast thing, you talked about it forever.
You're one of the first people I told about it.
And I'm like, dude, when are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it? When are you gonna do it?
You're like, don't talk about me about it. But yeah, so I realized just like it was yesterday or today, but I'm like, holy fuck, I'm coming up on February and it's going to be about a year. I'm like, I need to make a February goal of actually doing a 5-minute set out. And it's like, and I know I'm scared, and I know I'm like nervous, and I know that I'm putting it off. But I'm like, dude, I've written a lot of jokes down. I just have to actually kind of go through them and put them into a little package and practice them in front of the mirror, and actually work it out a bit. and then just get my ass out there and do it.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, dude, that's going to be my February goal. Like that has to be on the list. I need to get out there in February and do it at least once.
And you know how you were talking about like how these other comedians like have their stories of they doing it for years.
Yeah.
I did see like a clip on YouTube or whatever about that, and they're like, oh yeah, I did this one bit, and I can't remember what comedian was talking about it, but he was telling a story that he did this one bit like 50 different ways.
Yeah.
You know, and then it was one way that was perfect.
Yeah.
Because of the inflection,
right?
Or this and that, and it worked because he had tried it other ways and it just wouldn't land. But then there's one way it hit it.
Yeah.
And it's like it's crazy that just that one little tweak.
Yeah.
You know. Well, same with like music, that one little extra drum. You know, it just kills it. You know?
And one of the things that I had heard from one of the comedians I listened to, which I really appreciated, that makes this one of the reasons why I want to do it, is not because I want to be a stand-up comedian professionally, although I might want that if I continue to do it. I'm like, oh, this is dope. I really like this. But he was saying comedy is like one of the art forms that people who aren't trying to make it don't do. So he's like, a lot of people pick up the guitar just because they want to learn to play guitar because it's fun.
Yeah.
But people don't just do comedy just to fuck with it, just for fun.
Yeah.
And he's like, they should. He's like, they should try it out, like, because it's a fun art form, even if you're not trying to make it, you know, or be, you know, it's just like, but you can still enjoy playing music without being Justin Bieber. You can still enjoy doing some stand-up comedy without being fucking Dave Chappelle or whatever. So I was like, yeah, that's a good point. I'm like, I don't know why I don't try it out. It seems fun. I like making people laugh. I like telling jokes.
It'd be fun.
No, I got pee, dude. So this is the Spiritless Cinnamon Whiskey. In case anybody watching ever wants to do like dry January or get whatever.
I didn't know they had that. I knew about the beer,
either.
But I never knew they had this.
Yeah, because I normally drink a lot of non-alcoholic beers, but this does. So it doesn't have alcohol, but it still makes you feel like some
type of way,
or it's just like it's like what we always did.
Right.
You know, it's just like, oh yeah, we have a shot together and have a podcast, or like have a shot.
It's
together
more like a tradition. Yeah. Is this the first sober podcast or non-alcoholic podcast?
No, I did all the years. So, I've done 3 sober. Ian was my last drunk one. Yeah. So we filmed like, I think it was New Year's Eve day.
Okay.
Then I was like, dude, this is my last day to drink. Do you want to do a podcast?
Right, you were telling me about that. Yeah.
So we got pretty drunk. Not like good tipsy.
Right.
I didn't get like fucked up. Yeah. And that was one of the things that I wanted to work on was not getting too fucked up. Because some of my podcasts, I got so trashed and I was like annoying myself.
Oh, man.
And then I'm like, dude, if I'm annoying myself, I know other people are annoyed. Like, they're not watching this shit. Like, so I'm like, I gotta at least keep it somewhat together.
Trial and error, man. Trial and error.
Yeah.
Salud, buddy. Thanks for visiting. Thank you for the gift. To Joshy Poo.
To Severo in Vegas.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, we'll wrap this up, but I don't know if you want to talk about anything else. I just wanted to at least
no, I mean, I guess I'll just leave it with I'm glad I moved. I miss my friends, I miss my family, but I love them all. I miss them all. I'll visit them as much as I can. Last year, obviously, you know what happened, that Alexia passed, which was rough for me. I miss her, but every day is a good day.
Yeah.
Every day's gonna be a better day. One thing that I kept on telling myself is to kind of get me through it was you can't believe in heaven and then be mad when somebody goes over there.
Yeah, because you believe in heaven, right?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. I believe in heaven, and if anybody needed to go over there, it was her.
That's a good line, man.
So I was like,
you can't believe in heaven, but be mad when somebody goes there.
And so that was kind of was in my head for a while. So
I actually kind of meant to ask you about that because you were you guys were really close.
Yeah,
like lived together for a long time, friends for
about
a long
6 years. Yeah,
I obviously consider her a friend, but like the only times I really hung out with her was when I kicked it with you, you know. So it wasn't like always, but I mean, like that kind of just losing somebody like way before their time is such a fucking hard thing to do.
It was rough. And it still is, but like I said, it's one of those things. Like I said, my mom called me this morning and I was talking to her about all that, and I was like, I told her like grieving, and being in mourning and stuff like that. It really, the whole concept of it is just weird because you don't know. Everybody does it in a different way. Mm-hmm. So who's to say that you're not when you are? you're not, and I don't know, just so many different levels, so many different things. The alcohol didn't help for sure, and that's why I said I was spiraling. But now I feel a lot better, you know.
I think that's one of the things I learned so I actually am coming up on the anniversary of my best friend Adam. His is on the 2nd of February, if I'm not mistaken. And I mean, it's been, I don't know, 13 years now or something. So it's not like, but that was like the first really big, like close loss for me.
Yeah.
And you always have this feeling like, I think it's messing me up. I'm doing it wrong. Or like, and some people like they've said they've lost friends and they don't feel anything. And then they're like, I feel fucked up because I don't feel that much. And it's just like, but you never know how it's going to hit you. And then you could like not feel it on one, and then somebody else you lose, and all of a sudden it just like wrecks you. And there's no really rhyme or reason. It just affects us all differently.
So when Mariah passed, Mariah being French's wife, you know, I felt horrible, you know, and I felt horrible for French because he was my roommate for a long time. I loved the guy. And then when he passed, that really did hurt me. You know, and Alexia was there for both. But when she passed, that wrecked me.
Yeah.
And I was wrecked, man. I mean, you saw me in the whole... Yeah. I don't remember half that day. Like, I don't remember being back at Javier's and being all drunk and stuff. But, I mean, that was the last time. That was the last time I was in Idaho, and I haven't been back since.
Right.
You know, but...
yeah, I was glad that I was able to be there.
Yeah, and I appreciate
didn't even think I would have been able to get there.
I appreciate you, man.
That was funny because that was the time I was supposed to work at Jim's Alibi, and I walked in, and she's like, you're not supposed to be here tonight. And I was like, oh, I'm not? And then I just knew, I was like, ooh, I'm not working here anymore. Yeah. Like, I guarantee she put somebody else on it. I had no idea why, but I was like totally cool. I was like, cool, Severo's in town. I'm gonna go kick it with him. And then, yeah, man, that's weird thinking about like just like Adam when he died. He was only 28, maybe 29 or something. Just like way before his time. But like, I mean, he killed himself. But like, still, it's just like, fuck, dude, I was wrecked for a while. And I can't remember if I was drinking a lot back then or not. I mean, I think I did during that time. But yeah, and then like, dude, it's just out of the blue. It'll just come up, and it's like a lot less like time. Yeah, it's just like slowly but surely. And like now, when I think of him, it's very fond. You know, I'm just like. If I talk about him, it's like, like, dude, Adam was dope for this and this, you know, I feel fondly, and it's, you know, but there for a while, I mean, it was like 5, 6, 7 years in, like after, and I realized that I had never made another best friend, or I never had a really close friend after him. And it took me like 8 or 9 years to actually start to have really close friends again. I was like, fuck, that's what I missed. Yeah. It was like having somebody like really connect with. And I don't know where I was going with that, but
I mean, when I met you, you mentioned him at the beginning, and I never had anybody like close to me do that. And when French did that, I felt, I mean, I shared with you what I felt, you know, I felt like I wasn't a good friend because I felt I could have done better, could have done this, could have done that, you know.
That's so fucking typical.
And then again with Alexia, you know, not really knowing how to deal with things and just getting drunk, like to numb it.
Right.
But you don't really numb it because I was just trying to get drunk to, you know, kind of end the day, to get the day over with. It was mostly that. Just get the day over with, get drunk and pass out.
Yeah.
And then when I wake up in the morning, I still feel like shit, you know?
Right.
But since this dry January, I mean, I still think about it all the time, but happy memories, you know, and I haven't felt down. Just like I said, it was last week when I thought about her again, and then I actually, you know, felt bad and I started crying, but it was a different way, not because I was drunk, because all those times when I was crying, I was drunk, you know? Yeah. But this time I felt bad and I cried, but then I felt happy again, you know?
Yeah.
So I think that was a positive, you know, a step in the right direction, you know? So it's healing, it's getting better. And, you know, who knows how long it'll take, you know?
Yeah.
But I definitely want to make her proud and stuff. So like I said, it's a new chapter for me.
Yeah. And it's, to me, it was one of the craziest things. I mean, it's like you get in this kind of, I don't want to say rut, but maybe it's a rut or maybe it's a routine, and you forget to like show your friends appreciation, to spend time with the people you love. And then it takes somebody dying or losing someone close where you're like, oh, fuck.
Like this is
all temporary. Yeah. We don't get everything forever. And so that's just like, what are you doing? Like wasting it sometimes like with shit that isn't important. And obviously, you know, you have to make money, but you don't have to like make it all about money. Obviously, you have to take care of certain things, but it's just like, and sometimes, especially when I've thought about this with somebody else had lost their parents once, and then I was like talking to my parents, and then I was in a fight with my ex-girlfriend at the time, and then I like called him sobbing, and then I was just like, dude, I want to make this up. It's like, this life is too short to fight about this dumb little thing. I'm like, dude, we're like at each other's throats over this stupid little thing. I'm like, what if you died? I would be devastated. Like this little thing doesn't matter, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So it is a good reminder.
It's a reality check.
It's a shame that you have to go through it too.
Right. And unfortunately, nobody realizes that until it actually happens.
Yeah.
And that is the story of life, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, like you said, you know, you kind of realize what's important being out here after all that, you know, you count your blessings. And definitely those people that are close to you definitely want to reach out and make sure that those bonds are always going to be there, you know?
Yeah, even coming down here, man, it was just one of those things where like, I don't know, something hit me in the holidays, but I was like, dude, I can't not. I mean, it's obviously you can't like go see a friend who's far away every week or every month or whatever. But it's like if you don't ever make an intention to see the people you love at all, you know, if I went 3 years without coming down here, I would feel like a piece of shit. Like, no, dude, you got to get down there and see like a really good friend. Yeah. And I am like happy I was able to get down here last year a couple times, get down here this year. You were able to get up.
And I really appreciate it, man. And it means a lot, you know?
Yeah, and the same with going home. You know, it's just like sometimes I wouldn't go home in a year. And I'm gonna be like, I'm really gonna try to get home at least once a year. So it's like family's important, friends are important. Like, you know, it does cost money, but you know, it's
like you said, it's not all about money.
Right. Yeah.
The older you get, the life goes on. You kind of realize what's more important, and you reorganize your priorities, and what's important, you know, changes. And that's life. Sometimes this goes up higher. That's the next priority, or whatever. But at the end of the day, like you said, we're on borrowed time. So make the best out of it.
Yeah.
So.
All right, man.
For sure.
With that, good night, fags. Love you, dude.
Oh, yeah, man. Nobodies.